About this time, 51, 52, you tried your hand at rallying, principally for the Roots Group.
Yes, I did the Alpine 3 years running, actually, but I've never worked so hard.
Well, surely on a 2,000-mile epic on Alpine roads the whole time, one expects to work hard. In fact, in those days, the Alpine was considered just about as tough as they come, and you certainly had your share of trouble.
1 year in that, I remember the last year, I really did work hard. Quite often I drove for over 12 hours without a break. When I arrived at the checkpoint, I nearly fell flat on my face. I was feeling so tired. First year I wouldn't have bothered. I don't think the last one I did.
And as a result of that, you became one of the only 2 men who have ever won a Gold Cup for 3 consecutive penalty-free Alpine rallies. The year 1954 was a milestone for you, Stirling.
It's a major milestone in many ways. That before 54, and behind my back, my manager then, that was Ken Gregory, and my father had ordered a Maserati for me, which Alf Francis went down to Modena to collect. In fact, he cut it all about so that I could sit as I wished to, which was a long way from the steering wheel, and they'd never heard of this. They wouldn't believe it. They said, nobody can drive like that. He said, well, I'm sorry, we're buying the car.
This was a Grand Prix car,
Formula One. Grand Prix car, exactly. And then after that, later that year, of course, they went again, funnily enough, behind my back and fixed up that I should drive for Mercedes, which I think was a great thing, but I didn't know about it at the time.
And what was your reaction to this double dealing by your father and your manager?
Well, first of all, I was surprised at how much of my money they'd spent, obviously. But the main thing was that now my back was to the wall. I had to prove that I could drive, and the boy was stopping from driving, you know, mediocre cars when you can be 5th and you've done a great job, to getting in a car when I've got to mix with the guys that really knew how to drive, and I was expected to do the same as them.
But because you not only did the same as them, but beat them, it led on to even greater things.
Yeah, well, then I went to Mercedes, and as you can see from these, that was the first time, I suppose, really, when I had a car, when all I had to do was worry about driving and keep out of Neubauer's way, I suppose.
And how did you feel about that?
Well, Neubauer, I thought he was the greatest team manager I was ever associated with.